Hey, good morning. Today for Big Sarge's time training, we're going to do a 2-mile run. I'm going to record the whole 2 miles. I got Sergeant First Class Ornelas, waving Old Glory there in all its beauty. And then Major Garcia, apologize. So we're going to film the 2-mile run because I want to give you some tips and pointers. Our goal is we're going to do it in under the Army's allotted time, which is 21 minutes and for 60 points, okay? So we're going to get going. Let's get going.
Let's go.
All right, so we're simulating doing this run. Today we did our HIIT workout and we did a lot of lower body exercise. So we're simulating getting smoked after doing all the events in the ACFT. So 2-mile run comes after the leg tuck event. So there's a 10-minute planned rest between the leg tuck and the run. So you should be pretty spent by the time you get to the 2-mile run. So that's why we like doing it on a day like today after this lower body workout. So we're just going to talk to you about some of the tips and pointers we have. I've heard a lot of people mention when they're doing the ACFT to eat little orange slices or something in between events to keep your energy up. We just do our whole workout and this run entirely on just water. So when you're running, they used to tell us a good pace to do is we used to have cadences, so you should be able to say probably about 3 words before you're out of breath. And that's a grueling pace that, you know, you're at your max effort right there. But you have 21 minutes, so you don't really need to push it that hard. If you want to max the ACFT run, you're looking at about 13:30 for 100 points. Right now, we're averaging about an 8-minute 30 pace, so not bad. If you do the math times 2, it gives you about 17 minutes. It gives us 4 minutes under the 21-minute standard. So it's always good on a track when you got people running around you too. Got some people getting it. It's a nice, beautiful day. We're gonna keep this up for about 18 minutes while we do this run. So some of the things I like to do when I'm running, I like to chew gum. The Army's probably going to tell you you can't do that. Doesn't mean you can't do that in your off time, but just get in the habit of the things that you can do on the PT test. I think some good running shoes, definitely a good tip. What I would do is take some time to go to a running shop, have them check out what kind of foot you have, measure it. Just don't go to Kohl's and put your feet in that little thing and measure it. Have an expert do it. They're going to design some things, tell you what your arch is in your foot. They may even have you do a little bit of a run, see what your gait looks like. Suggest a good running shoe for you. So running shoes key. I like to go with, I can already tell after 20 years of running in the military if I put a shoe on, if it's a good fit for me without even having an expert tell me. I like it to be light, I like it to be a straight up running shoe. Some people make the mistake of getting cross trainers, stuff like that. If you're just gonna run, get a running shoe. You can always change out your shoes during the ACFT. So if you don't want to wear a running shoe for the rest of the events, you can have a pair of running shoes swap out in your 10-minute break. That is completely authorized. I think there's a nice little TTP there. Yeah. After that, make sure you're hydrating. You don't want to cramp up when you're running. Pro tip, if you're running, start to cramp. The old rule of thumb used to be to breathe out when your left foot hits the ground. Try to make that cramp go away. I think if you're drinking enough water, I can have an issue with cramps. Diet and exercise go a long way. Water is included in that diet. So get out of your body what you put into it. Look at that. Nice, beautiful flag.
Great day to be an American.
Great day to be an American. Something good about running too is at the end of a run, no matter how hard you push it, how far you go, take about a mile, you're gonna get that endorphin rush at the end of it. So that's always a plus. Get your heart rate up. Feeling good. Feeling fine, looking good. We come up here a little further, I'm gonna show you the view that we got. It's also nice to have a good view for motivation when you're running. If you don't want to do the same old view all the time. I like running outdoors. I'm sure a lot of you do too. If you don't, try it. Running on a treadmill makes you feel like a hamster. Nobody likes that.
Hey, one thing I learned too, try to have a running buddy, a running person that's faster than you.
There you go.
Because they will make you better. They will push you your limits and vice versa. Normally when you run your own, you are battling yourself, you're battling your mind, right? But you have one or two or three friends into a little running club, it motivates you because they push you a little bit more and more each time you run. And that's how you get better, how you get that condition.
True story. Hey, there's no excuse really for you not performing at your best, right? I know we may not be there right now, but I will tell you that there's a lot of things in life you can't control, right? Like you can't control what kind of privileges you have, or you know what kind of genes you got, but you can't control you being the hardest worker in the room or the hardest worker out here on the bay right now. That's what you can control. And if you want to cry to me about time, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to create that time. I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm a busy person just like everybody else out here, right? But I know if I don't carve out that time in the morning to work out, it might not happen that day. And that's the most important thing to me. And if you're a soldier or you want to be one, your forefront focus should be on PT. I don't care what anybody says. Some people used to say, well, you're good at PT, but you're not good at anything else. Bull crap. That's where it starts. You get good at that, sets the pace for the day, and you start to get better at everything else. I promise you that. Look at that view.
One of my good leaders told me, show me you can take care of you, I will know that you can take care of others. That was simple, good advice that I hold true, you know? Take care of yourself first, you know? Work on your mind and your body, your spirit, you know? And from there, you're gonna be whole.
Yep. Let's go back to what I was saying about the world. The world right now believes that some people have more privilege than others. I get it. I'm not trying to make a political rant, but what I'm gonna tell you is that privilege doesn't matter if you wake up and you get done faster than they're done. These people wake up at 9 a.m. We've already done more before 7 o'clock than they done at but 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's all about waking up and getting it in early. And then you can do more. Levels the playing field. Let's see, what else can we talk about?
I'll talk about some training to make people better, 60s, 120s, some drills, some hill drills, hill repeats. There's an app, right, called PRT, Army PRT. If you go on Apple Store or the Google, for Android,
Google Play.
The Google Play,
right.
And the Android app. If you look at PRT, it's an Army app, and it has like drills for running drills. They have 30s, 160s. That means you sprint for 30 seconds and you walk for 60 seconds, and then eventually progress to sprinting 60 seconds and walking 2 minutes. They have hill repeats, short distance, long distance run. So they have a whole plan that you can empower yourself. And if you're not part of a future soldier training, you don't have anybody to work out, but you're looking at start point, it's a good app, it's a free app, and it's going to give you things that you can do to improve your condition, to improve your stamina.
Yep.
And your speed. I know we got Dr. Garcia back here, and once we started this, it felt like a struggle, right, Dr. Garcia?
Oh, yeah.
And after leg days, this was a challenging thing.
Yep.
And we're talking, physicians that work sometimes 60, 70 hours. We know we don't have time, but it's doable. He shows up, he's getting better. The other day he gave me, a run for my money. I had to ask for change back, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. He's about to carry this flag here the next mile.
There you go.
There we go.
That's good stuff.
End it off.
Yep.
It's actually Major Garcia.
Yeah, Major Garcia.
Woo!
Just another running day.
It's a good day. So,
What we do.
yeah, so if you can't run, everybody working out in this program right now should be able to run. Should be able to run 2 miles. It doesn't have to be extra special, super fast, but if you're coming from a state right now of injury and you can't run at all, I'll tell you at a minimum you should be walking twice as far as you run, and then build your way up to running. Build your way up, do certain things. Stretching is key. You may say, well, my knees hurt, my back hurts. And you take some ibuprofen. I don't care, just make sure you have something in your stomach before that. You know, you don't want to make that mistake like I've done. But I mean, it's gonna grow, you're gonna have growing pains, right? Like, if your knees start to hurt, you probably don't have a good running shoe. You probably need to look at that. I'll tell you right now, running shoes important. Like, I go through running shoes every 3 months. If you're sitting there running with the same shoe for 6 months or a year, you're probably wrong. Maybe you don't run as much as me, I get it, but you know, we used to have this, the wear out indicator on our shoes, my drill sergeant used to tell me, is if you can roll a pencil underneath the heel of it, I mean, you know that thing is worn out. Well, they figured out that maybe some people just strike their heel first, a lot more. Maybe that running shoe ain't burnt out yet, but I'll tell you, you'll know. My wear out indicator if my running shoes are going bad, or as if my knees and my back starts to hurt, I know it's time to switch it out.
Full disclosure, I'm not advertising any brand, but I bought this hookah brand my wife actually gave me for my birthday. It's been amazing. I get a little more bounce off the pavement. My time has improved. I mean, of course, one can argue my condition has improved, but running shoes, running sneakers makes a world of difference. And prevents shin splints, right? A lot of people start feeling that pain, you know, in their shin, and they start hurting. Most likely it's because of shoes and intensity, right? So don't start too fast. I recommend, if you haven't been running, do a half a mile, then progress to 3/4 of a mile, then a mile. Increase it like a quarter mile each time. You can run it on the track if you don't know the distance, or get a watch like an Apple Watch, an Android watch, or a Fitbit. But progress. Yeah. Don't start 0 to 100. You know, doing something is better than doing nothing.
That's right.
So get out there, start with a half a mile, you know, twice a week. The next week try to do 3/4 of a mile. Then increase the amount, increase the intensity, improve your time. Those are your 3 goals.
Yeah. So I used to do, when I was trying to get faster, I have this thing called a 3-mile workout. So you basically jog the first mile, and then you start off the second mile. You sprint a mile or a quarter mile, jog quarter mile, sprint a quarter mile, jog quarter mile. Then the third mile, you do it in eighths. So it's really helpful if you have something to measure how far you're running, or like a running track, quarter mile track. Because the quarter miles is simple, you can just do 1 lap. If you're going to do an eighth, that's half of 1 lap, right? So
even watches,
you can really get it down. And you can do your splits with a lot of watches or a lot of running apps that are out there. Map My Run's pretty popular. We're not plugging anything. We're just telling you some of the things we use. I have a Garmin watch. Some of those things cost money, but most apps are free to download. But you know what is free? Go into your local high school, your local elementary school. It's got a running track and getting it in. Pro tip, keep on the inside of the track. That's where they actually measure it. Unless there's old people walking around and you want to push out to the outside, we'll be courteous to them.
Hey,
that's just a little bit more of a challenge.
Tell me a little bit about your training, about the Army 10 miler that's coming out.
Yeah, so the Army 10 miler. So we have a pretty cool program working up to the Army 10 miler. The 10 miler plan can take anybody that can't run, that can run at least 2 miles, I guess you would say. So not can't run, but 2 miles. And running every other day, so like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, right? So Sundays are usually your long run. There's muscle memory practice like you're gonna play, right? So you're working your way up to the 10 miler, but it's a good program. I'll put a link in the description, but I will tell you that if you complete it, you can easily do the 10 miler. At or below a 10-minute mile pace, I promise you that.
Hey, since we're on that subject, Sergeant, can you tell them about how we're training up for the South Rock?
Yeah,
that's happening
sure.
October 2nd, and we're raising money
So right now, we're currently training up simultaneously as well for the Tough Ruck. Tough Ruck's an event here in Boston where we're gonna ruck with 35 pounds to raise money for the fallen heroes and first responders. So we have a link. We're gonna put this in the YouTube video description too. It's to raise that money. Now we had a goal. So if you log into our team's page, you might see that we might have exceeded the amount of money that we wanted to raise, but that shouldn't stop. So if you want to donate, you can go there, pitch in. All that money goes to the fallen.
Yeah, so our team name is Boston AMED Rebel. AMED stands for Army Medical Department. So it's Boston AMED Rebel at the Tough Ruck. We have actually 5 people that actually officially joined our team and we're raising money. Recently we have a new member. He's a Coast Guard, a friend of ours. His name is Giovanni. And each of us got to raise at least $450. Otherwise we got to pay out of pocket, which is not an issue. But most of my team members already raised the money, except Giovanni, who just joined last week. So if you're please going to make a donation, look it up at Boston AMED Rebels, but click on his name, make the donation to Giovanni under Boston AMED Tough Ruck. Your donation is tax deductible. It's a non-profit organization, and we really appreciate it. It makes a big impact for the families of our fallen heroes and first responders. So I appreciate everything you guys do.
Yep, so we got Tough Ruck is going to be happening October 2nd. So we're going to do that. It's a little bit long, 26.2 miles. I don't know if we could stream that whole thing, but I mean, who knows?
Almost 8 hours, so
maybe we could do some live.
We'll do a little.
It's going to be a long go. Yeah.
We do want to thank the sponsors so far. We have raised $2,311 to date. It's amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for all the donations. But let's keep it going, right? Because the money is not for us. It's for a good cause, right? And I know it feels like somebody on asking for money here and there. But like I said, make a contribution, save your receipt. Know that me and Sarnazman, these funds are not going to us at all. It's 100% to the nonprofit organization under the Tough Ruck that supports fallen heroes and their families and the first responders. Like they buy the folded flags and they do a whole bunch of things. When there's a funeral ceremony, they do it with a full like military honors or official honors.
So we're coming up on 1.75. We're almost at about 2 miles.
Yeah,
doing good.
1.94 for me.
I'll
call it out.
I started a little later than he did, but
I'll call out the 2 miles so they will know.
Right.
Like we're not even pushing hard today because we're making a video, right?
Not too hard.
So this is not what we would actually run for a 2-mile ACFT. I don't know about you. I'm a competitive guy. I'm a leader. So if I'm going to lead soldiers, I'm going to give it 100%, right? So that means when I'm crossing the finish line, I'm like dry heaving.
Yeah.
So, because I can't ask my soldiers to push 100%, and if they look at me and then they don't see me pushing 100%.
Oh,
so
right.
My 100% might not be their 100%. They might be better than me or I might be better than them. But giving you 100% is important.
Yeah.
We got 2 miles and we ran at 17:55.
So yeah.
Definitely ACFT passing standards.
Pretty good. So you can't control a lot of things, but you can control the amount of work, effort that you put out, right? Just say lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. But really, people are going to respect you more if they show you working hard. If you're not in the front, but you should be trying to get to the front, right? So, doing good. Nice little view over here. Get that sun in there in the bay.
And we're coming up, we're finishing our little run.
Doing good.
And guess what? We already won Tuesday.
Yep, we already won. Even before people are getting out of bed. We already did almost a whole day's work.
Check us on LinkedIn. So
Today
we're going to post up a great commission at the U.S. Constitution Boston. We're going to have Dr. Captain McClurkin, he's a psychiatrist, doing his commission today in the U.S. Constitution, graced us with the area to do his ceremony. So it's going to be pretty special. All right, Ornelas signing out.
That's 2 miles. That's it. Take a look in the description below for those links we talked about. Keep pounding.